You're right, David. Christianity is not a religion. It's a relationship of love expressed toward God and people. It's a love that always hopes, always perseveres. Larry and Lisa Jamieson were both raised in Christian homes, but they couldn't have imagined how much they would learn about God's love together. The upwardly mobile couple owned a successful consulting business, developing resources for Fortune 500 companies. They enjoyed a nice home in the suburbs with 2 lovely daughters who attended good schools. Then Carly was born, screaming. Days later, she was still crying, and after her first seizure, doctors diagnosed Angelman syndrome, a genetic disorder that meant this infant was in constant pain. She couldn't be touched. Larry and Lisa both quit their jobs to care for Carly.
We were beginning to discover who Jesus really could be living and breathing in our life, that then this child came into our lives that was an experience altogether new and different. You know, for a very driven person like I was, used to being able to fix and handle just about everything, suddenly nothing anymore was in my control, and I had to learn surrender like I'd never learned before. I had to really recognize that I serve and love a holy God, so holy and perfect that He is almighty enough to figure this out for me, and that I can rest in His presence. I can still take the responsibilities and follow where I think He's leading, but I am not ultimately the one responsible for fixing this. I can trust that He's going to carry us through it. And then the whole idea that He is so creative and how He did that. It became an adventure. So even though there were overwhelming, consuming things about our circumstances, we were increasingly learning to just embrace life in all of its imperfections for the adventure that God thought that it could be.
Well, it was incredibly difficult. First of all, lack of sleep. We felt like zombies for great periods of time, and we just walked through as if everything was in a fog. And those early years were indeed just an incredible struggle, but we began to find that not only were people willing to help, but we were led to a home-based therapy program for a daughter, and in order to accomplish that, we were going to need a lot of help. We were going to need at least 3 people to help with this every hour, and so it was not something that we were going to be able to do ourselves. And our church, some women who were mentors to Lisa, encouraged us to stand up before the body and present our needs.
To actually share your burden.
Yeah. And that was a difficult thing for me to do, because as a man, it's hard for me to ask for help in the first place. But second, as we stood up there, our entire family, and I was the spokesperson, and I was shaking, and the tears were running down my eyes as I presented these. The thing that was running through my head was, what if they say no? What if they don't respond? What if we present all of this and there's no response? And that is not what happened. They responded just wonderfully.
60
Yeah,
people?
we had 60 people every week coming into our home. We had a neighbor who cooked a meal for us every Monday night for a year. It was just incredible, the outpouring and the community of that. But it took the Lord telling us, you need to be obedient to go where I'm leading you, and you need to share that with people.
In the King James Version, 1 Corinthians 13 says, love suffers long. As David said earlier, it allows for the unexpected. Larry and Lisa, even now, manage only 2 to 3 hours of uninterrupted sleep each night. But they have found hope and purpose in a painful season of life. As we can see, theirs is a powerful portrait of love your neighbor, too. 60 volunteers came alongside when Carly's needs overwhelmed her parents. The Bible says that the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts, and it was expressed in practical ways through the Jamieson's church family. Perhaps you need the love and support of a caring church community. When you call our prayer lines, we would be happy to recommend loving churches in your area. Well, at 10 years old, Carly is a delightfully social and affectionate girl with a strong sense of humor. She nods or shakes her head for yes or no, turns TV and lights on and off, feeds herself with a spoon, and she loves dancing. She's been seizure-free for 4 years, and she sleeps 7 to 8 hours at night more consistently. The girl who wasn't supposed to talk was saying about 40 words as of April 2nd of this year. In fact, you can go to 100huntley.com for my full interview with the Jamiesons. You're also going to see part of the video that Larry produced, chronicling Carly's journey and theirs. Lisa says that through this situation, it's been hard to see anything but God. She marvels at how He is working in their lives. Carly's older sisters don't complain about the special demands on them. The Jamiesons have dared to love unconditionally, and they're all closer to Christ and more like Him as a result. Where is God calling you to demonstrate His love? If you're married, we dare you to take the 40-day Love Dare adventure. This book is our gift to you when you join our Crossroads family by pledging your financial support of this vital, life-changing ministry. We're looking for 600 new members, and we're thrilled. You know, here's Frank from Ohio with a $30 a month pledge. We're happy to have Americans on board. Here's Carol from Colorado at $35 a month and $5 for each of her 7 grandchildren. That's a special gift, and we're so glad, Carol, to have you responding. Marilyn in Calgary, Alberta is a monthly giver now at $30 a month, and on it goes. We want to hear from you right across the country. Margaret in Oshawa, a monthly pledge of $20. And Irene in Surrey, BC, increasing her monthly giving from $35 to $50 a month. Thank you, thank you. David and Norma G.